Hi guys, we are going to be talking about all of the movies that I watched in February / the beginning of March because this is late. It's late. And it is what it is. And we're going to get into it right now. So I have my Letterboxd. I'll link it down below if you want to follow me. You can or not. I do these videos. Doesn't matter. So starting off, all of these movies seem, well, with the exception of like the 3 that I watched in March, all of these movies seem like I watched them 75 years ago. So that's always a good sign. The first one, and this was one that I added to my Netflix list when I was just going through like horror movies, and I watched the little trailer, and it's Left Behind. It's a Nicolas Cage movie, and then there's also, what's his fucking name? Chad Michael Murray. It's basically this movie, what it looked to be from the little blurb that played was all these people just randomly disappear, and then this one girl is left to like figure out why, and Nicolas Cage is a pilot, and it's like, ooh, intriguing. Turns out it's a Christian movie. A small group of survivors are left behind after millions of people suddenly vanish during the rapture, and the world is plunged into chaos and destruction. I gave this 1 star, not because it is a Christian movie and I'm not religious, but because it is not a good movie. The rapture is a really scary concept. The idea of people that you love just being taken away and you're left to be on this hell on earth for, I don't really know much about the rapture and how it's supposed to go, but I assume for the rest of your life. That's very scary. But you know what's not very scary? Is this movie. I would relate it to God Is Not Dead, which I haven't seen, but the vibe seems similar to me. All right, The Tinder Swindler. I gave this 3 stars. If you haven't seen this, it is a documentary on Netflix. It was also obviously based on real events, but there were also articles about this. So, posing as a wealthy jet-setting diamond mogul, an Israeli con man, not common man. I mean, I guess. Con man wooed women online and conned them. Wow, a lot of conned in here. Out of millions of dollars. Now some victims plan for payback. Very upsetting. Mainly because this happened, because there have been no negative effects for this piece of shit, because these women are still left to be paying back these debts, because now on Instagram, anytime I'm swiping on my like For You page, I see little news articles of this guy being like, yeah, I want to move to Hollywood, have a fucking TV show. Sometimes the worst people really do get the most benefits. The first 20 to 30 minutes, very, very slow for me because obviously didn't know where it was going, but it held my attention enough that by the end of it, I was sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? Finally, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I went into this knowing nothing. I knew it involved Sharon Tate a little bit. I knew it involved the Manson family a little bit, and then I knew that it involved like Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. The name makes a lot more sense once you finish the movie. It was one of those movies that kind of almost didn't feel like it had an end, and it was more about kind of the journey. And I liked it. I thought it was super entertaining. I could have honestly just watched like 7 or 8 hours of these characters just existing, and I would have been really happy about it. And then I watched Life when I was very high. Okay, my partner put this movie on and I was sitting there telling him like, I'm not in the right headspace to watch this. I literally just want to watch trash TV. Like, I don't want to watch a movie where people are trapped in space with a fucking alien. But he was like, I don't care, we're watching it. And I was like, okay, fine. So 2017 movie, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, mainly because it really harshed my vibes. And it's a 6-member crew of the International Space Station is tasked with studying a sample from Mars that may be the first proof of extraterrestrial life. And it was, and then as it turns out, not all aliens are good. It was a good movie. It would have been better if I was in the mood to watch it. But it was also one of those things where it's like, there were so many warning signs where it's like, you're treating this thing like it's a dog. And it's not. And you should have just floated it out to space. I watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. I have an entire video. I will link that down below. I gave it 1.5 out of 5 stars, which I stand by because it was not good. But if you want further information as to why I thought it was not good, I will again link that video down below. Then I watched Shithouse. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I gotta say, the first I tried watching it before and I couldn't get past the first like 10 minutes. And then I was just kind of in a mood to watch like a coming of age movie, you know, something that's a little bit more indie. And this is what I turned on, got past the first 10 minutes. And then I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm watching this, because it's also kind of like, I'm gonna compare it sort of in the way that it's not an ending to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's just kind of the journey that these people are going on, and it is very entertaining. A lot of the movie takes place in one night. The rest of the movie just kind of is spread out, and it's a lot of self-discovery. It's a lot of the main character, who I think is also the writer and director, I believe, coming to terms with being away from his family, starting a new life, becoming independent in college as a freshman. It's gotta be kind of a mind fuck when you are leaving home, especially if you have a good relationship with your family, especially if, you know, those are kind of the only people that you're really close to and you don't have a ton of friends in general, and then being placed in this place states away. Like, it was a very entertaining, raw, real experience that you just felt like you were kind of watching. You felt like you were watching somebody act out their journal entries. Okay, then in Hatuko, my mom, dad, and I on her birthday watched Geostorm. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. This came out in 2017. A lot of 2017 movies today. An unprecedented series of natural disasters. The world's head leaders came together to create an intricate network of satellites to control the global climate and keep everyone safe. Now something went wrong, the person who created it has to go and fucking fix it. First of all of the countries come together and help each other? What universe are we living in that would actually happen? Have we seen what's going on in the world right now? Like, no. It's a fun movie. It just is. It's just a fun movie. And there tried to be like some interpersonal relationships that you're tried to like made to care about, and you don't really. You can definitely see the bad guy coming because he looks like a bad guy, and I don't know what to say, man. Gerard Butler's hot, and he does these movies well, and he's one of those people that even when he is 75 years old, if I saw him on the street, I would be like, shall we throw down? What is not a great movie is How It Ends. Okay, this is something that came out in 2018, but I believe it is new to Netflix, which is why I watched it. A desperate father tries to return home to his pregnant wife after a mysterious apocalyptic event turns everything into chaos. It has some good actors in it. It has Theo James, who is in obviously Divergent. It has Forrest Whitaker, who, I mean, come on. And beyond that, this movie has nothing. Beyond that, this movie is too long. It's like a buddy-buddy road trip in the apocalypse. You don't know what the fuck is happening with this apocalypse, okay? You just get the initial panic. You get the buddy-buddy, like, the dad of the daughter and the, like, fiance of the daughter, like, on this road trip, and they both don't like each other, but they're gonna overcome their differences to go and save her life. And it is just literally the most fucking ridiculous, too long, try to just make a fucking bag off of a post-apocalyptic sort of movie, and it failed. It was not good. I would say this is a movie to, if you watch with friends and you're drinking and you just want something in the background that you can tune out of and tune back into and make fun of, great movie for that, because I did that. I was like in between napping and like coming out of it and being like, that looks dumb, and just back to napping, and it was dumb. Not a good movie. On the plane back home, I watched Catch Me If You Can. This is a 2002 classic with Leonardo DiCaprio, okay? This also has other heavyweight champions, Tom Hanks, Christopher Walken, Martin Sheen, Natalie Bay, Amy Adams, okay, Jennifer Garner. It has got Elizabeth Banks, Ellen Pompeo. It has got so many women icons of today that I was watching it and I was like, another one. There's a fucking another one. I've seen this movie before, but not in years. I gave it 3.5 stars because I was on a plane and I was grumpy about it. But great movie. Hold your attention. It's a con artist. Leonardo DiCaprio is a con artist, and I guess it's based on true events. And he scammed a lot of people out of a lot of money pretending to be a pilot and a doctor and then a lawyer. And then I also watched Euphoria, but not the second season. I just rewatched the first season. And let me tell you one thing that I learned, very important, okay? After I finished watching Catch Me If You Can, I had downloaded some of the episodes of Euphoria, the first season, to rewatch. And the one biggest lesson that I've come away from this month is that Euphoria is not a show, specifically the first 2 episodes, that you ever watch in public. Specifically on a plane. There were so many penises. There were so many boobs. It was super inappropriate. And you know, when you're like trying to watch TV, and it was on my laptop, it's not like it's on my phone where I can just be like, hello. It was on my computer, and it was like Cooper was in the window seat, I was in the middle seat, and then there was just this guy there, this like middle-aged dad, and I was just sitting there like trying to like tilt it, but I didn't want to tilt it too much that the people behind us were going to see through the seat crack, so I was just kind of sitting there like, it'll be over soon, and then it wasn't over, and there were still so many dicks. But this show is amazing for a reason. I mean, people talk about it nonstop for a reason. It's like a play being acted out on your screen, and I know that in the second season there is, I guess, a play that's a big part of the whole show, and I'm very excited to watch it. I'm giving myself like a couple days in between watching season 1 and season 2 to just kind of decompress and think about it, because it's one of those shows that I really want to just like marinate in, and the soundtrack is amazing, and the character development is amazing. The episodes dedicated to pretty much all of the main and secondary characters, amazing. And I also love what this show does, where you don't have to see everything to know that the characters know everything. Like, you don't have to see Jules having conversations with Rue about like, this is what happened with Nate and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know the minute that Rue knows, because you're watching her reaction, and like, some of the scenes are just, the drug scene where she's like banging on the door and she's like, you did this to me, like, it's so good. It's such a good show, and if you haven't seen it for some reason, you have to watch it. Let me tell you something I haven't been watching, all right? The Bachelor. You know why? I have not missed a season of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I've been watching since before Emily Maynard. Who was before Emily Maynard? Ashley and JP. Who was before that? Like, I've been watching for years, like over 10, 12 years. This is the first season I'm skipping because I think Clayton is a fucking white piece of bread piece of shit. I am watching like little recaps, like Chatty Broads and stuff, and it just sounds super fucking annoying, or the Chatty Bros are the ones recapping it, but it just sounds like an annoying fucking season, and I'm glad I'm not watching, and I'm glad I'm not wasting my time. And it's weird to not have that like Monday, Tuesday routine of like sitting on the couch with a glass of wine for 2 hours and just being like, what? So maybe I'll get back into it this next season if they have somebody that looks good, but like, Clayton was just such a stupid fucking choice. Also, I ordered a rowing machine on Amazon the other day because it was on crazy sale, like a rowing machine for $180, and I was like, yes, I will add this to my home gym, because it was like over 50% off, I think. That is it. I have been talking for so long. Thank you so much for sticking through this video. If you haven't seen my Mexico vlog, I will leave that down below because that should have gone up first. But let me know what you've watched. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any movies or shows you think I would like, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.